G'day, Phil Britton here from TEMA, the Institute of Martial Arts.
And I'm Graham McDonald.
And we're coming at you once again with another amazing podcast, helping you guys get to the next level of business and personal life. Graham, I believe you got a pretty cool topic for us today.
This one's quite a big one, Phil. Events and marketing. Now, chatting with lots of the different clients over the many months and years that we've been involved with them, they're talking about marketing for the future. What's changing? The old traditional marketing from years ago is definitely still valid, but you've got to innovate. And I guess what we're looking at is events and marketing. They're both, we would find at our Weymouth schools, they both go hand in hand. And understanding what are they for. So what is it really? What is the event for and how do you market that? Is it for a retention of students? Because again, that's something that is really, really important. If you're signing new people up, but you're losing just as many, you're not going to go anywhere. And I know that it's cheapest nowadays. Far out, the cost that it's going to cost to get a new member, far outweighs the cost involved to actually keep a new member or keep an existing member.
That's right.
So retention is one of the things that you need to identify. Is it for making money or is it for new students? Which one are you going about?
Yeah.
Okay? Understanding that is very, very important. But I guess the first and foremost thing is when you're putting together a marketing calendar or an event planner for the year is clear plan.
Yeah.
So what do we tend to do, mate? And when do we do it?
Sure. Before we go into it, I just want to clear it up. Like, events and marketing sometimes are together and sometimes they're separate. So you might have an event, and are you marketing for that event, or are you just marketing for the sake of marketing? So you've just got to understand that, because you should be marketing just for the sake of marketing all the time. And then events are certain things that you do throughout the year. 1, to get new members, 2, for retention, and 3, to create great hype in your school. But just keep that in mind, that it is a little bit different. So don't think events and marketing, it's just all about events or all about marketing. There's 2 sort of scales to that as well.
Yeah, good way of explaining that. We have found that our marketing system that we use is great to just continually get leads coming through the door. But some of the big events that we've ran and the things that we've done is a great way to get those referral memberships from that. So again, having that clear plan around, 1, your marketing calendar. So as Phil pointed out, understanding when are we consistently marketing that we know in the background that machine is just running by itself.
That's right.
And overlaid on top of that is the events. So again, understanding what marketing you're putting into your event, or again, is that event just for a retention event? Therefore, marketing externally may not be as much.
Yeah, when it comes to events at our schools, what we want to try and do is just like we section our age classes and belt levels, we want to do the same thing for our events. We will do whole school events as well, but throughout the year we want to go, so month 1, let's do a little kids event. So it could be 5 to 9-year-old type of thing, or a little bit higher. And then month 2, we're going to do like a teenager style event. And then month 3, we're going to do an adult event. And then what we're going to do is repeat that again. Not the same event, but then month 4, littler kid event. Month 5, teenager type event. Month 6, adult event. So we know that we're getting a good gap between it, because I think a lot of what we've found, a lot of parents say, oh, you're doing too many events, there's too many to choose for, and we want to do that, but it costs too much, and it's juggling everything. So if you have a good gap, so every 2 to 3 months there's an event for that particular age group, then that works really, really well.
Yeah.
Then you also have your calendar split in obvious school terms, school holidays, Halloween, all those type of things that you just know within a calendar year you've got to take advantage of.
Yeah, look, I think it's really important though to understand, like you said, mate, is using those events to really identify those holiday areas. So, for example, you can run things like a Halloween event, okay, as you said, like a Mother's Day or a Father's Day event, whatnot. But again, I really think about, for us, we ran a really great one. This one can be run at any stage.
Yeah.
And we had a parents' date night. So that was something that we just ran recently. And for those guys who are listening in on, this was an absolute gem of an event. It was a 4-hour event that we ran. And what we did is we said to the parents for, I think it was $20 per child, or there was a family rate there if there were over, three kids in the family. But what we basically did was say, look, we'll take the kids from 5:30 in the afternoon to 9:30 at night. You gave mum and dad an opportunity to go out, have a nice romantic night for themselves. But what we did is when they came to the event, we basically had some food, we had a disco going on. And again, really depend on the age group. There are certain things that you run on these parents' date nights that some kids will embrace and they'll have a great time.
Yeah.
Other kids will just think, well, I'm a little bit too big from that. But on that particular night, we knew it was a date night. That was the focus. But then we got to think about how we ran it and what was it for. So again, you've got the opportunity. This was mainly a retention tool for us. And just again, another way to generate a little bit of income there. It wasn't a new member drive. Because the parents are happy because they got to go out and socialise, and the kids are happy because they got to have a blast.
Yeah.
We, like I mentioned, we had a little mini disco for the hour in there. There's also opportunities to play some martial arts games. The good old Nerf gun battles.
Yeah.
That's always a great one. You mention that to the kids and they're screaming at mum and dad to come. So that was one that we ran recently. But understanding too, when you do your events, well, how do you internally market in and around that? How do you promote that? So again, there's some factors in there, but look, what I want to really go is, you touched on it before, Phil, how often are we running these events? And you mentioned that not overdoing that, making sure you've got that split. But what about marketing to external? When does that run? How often are we running those things?
It depends what medium, I guess, you're using to market to external. We do all types of it. And we talked about before, what type of marketing is in and out. There's the old style marketing, and then there's the new style. I think you still need a blend of it. If you're a big school and you want to grow to big numbers, I think the stat? Someone has to see your brand 16 times before they make a buying decision. So we want to make sure that you're out and about, being visible. Whether that's just a sign on the road, like a grass sign, they see it driving past. They might see your car or stick it up. They might see it at the shopping centre. All that type of stuff. So your marketing should be very, very consistent.
Yep.
But in saying that, it needs to be very, very focused and targeted as well. There's no point putting an ad, let's just say a flyer ad or whatever it might be, that has all the things that you do on it. I would rather have 3 or 4 separate flyers, and that particular one flyer will be targeted to that age group. So it has the buzzwords for the parent if it's a child ad. If it's an adult wanting to do Muay Thai or fitness, then that one flyer is targeted to that person. Because, if I looked at a flyer and I wanted to do Muay Thai kickboxing, and I saw just a dot point that said, we do Muay Thai kickboxing, and then it had kids stuff all over it, I'd be like, yeah, not really for me. That's probably just a little thing on the side. So it's very important that we make sure that our marketing is targeted. And you might even go to the extreme where saying, well, for the next 3 months, we're going to target just kids. Yep. Or, whatever age group that you want more students in, start targeting that. Because I dare say that most family-orientated schools will have a bunch of the bulk of it younger. Generally speaking, the teenagers are a little bit thin, and then adults are there as well, depending on your focus. So, if you're having a struggle with a certain age group, then you might want to go, all right, for 3 months, I'm just going to really target this age group. Let's say it's teenagers. Make sure you've got your classes down packed for that, and your curriculum and lesson plans as always, because there's no point targeting and marketing and saying one thing and then they get there and the classes aren't what you're marketing about. So making sure that you're targeting those things.
Yeah.
And look, nothing will beat this day and age is online marketing with just social media type stuff. Facebook ads are out there. You can do Twitter type stuff, you can do Instagram. It's all out there, all for relatively low cost. But the good thing about it, it's very, very targeted. So I can specifically go, for example, on Facebook or Instagram now, target a particular suburb, a particular age demographic, and really target ads to those people. So if you're not doing it, I'd definitely suggest try it, have a play with it. There's a lot of people out there doing really well with it.
Yep. I told you this is going to be a deep topic. We've only just scratched the surface, if at all. I know that running events, that could be a big challenge in itself, and the how-tos, and again, marketing, the how-tos. Phil, where do the guys who may be listening to this go, geez, okay, sounds great, guys, but how can you help me how can you help me do this for me, or at least assist me to shorten the time invested into it? Yeah,
well, look, we try to take the guessing work out of it for everyone out there. So, online on our membership area, we have an events section where we actually have a list of events that we've run that have been successful. And in there, you'll be able to find maybe a flyer, a booking form, more importantly, or most importantly, an event planner.
Oh, yeah.
So this is like a 5-6 page document of a planner on how to plan an event and all the things you need to think about. ROI, what instructors are doing it, what equipment we need, like it's a detailed event plan. It's really, really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
So we've pretty much got basically drag and drop style events that you can use. And if we don't have something, and if you have any questions about a particular event, I'm sure we've run one at some point. We'd love to help you guys out. So yeah, jump on board. If you're not a member, then come let us know. Drop us an email. We do have that special deal where if you're a podcast listener, for $99, you can jump on silver and gold level, get access to all that sort of stuff there. And we'd love to hear from you guys if there's something that you want or that you haven't tried yet, and we may have or have known someone who has. We'd love to give you that feedback because that's the end of the day. We're all here helping each other, and what works for me might not work for you, but with a little twist, it could.
Most definitely. So, team, don't forget, if you've got those questions, admin@teema.com.au. Myself and Phil will answer them and get back to you guys. Plus, if you want to, you can throw it out. We have a section here, questions for the boys.
Yep.
So if you've got a question there, and it's a relevant one that we think that plenty of people will benefit from or face that same challenge, we'll put together a podcast and answer them directly. And that way you guys have got a library to not only assist your questions, but it may be something you can help your team with, your staff with, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I definitely, if the worst case scenario after this podcast, if you're not doing something consistently, then start doing it. Doing it ad hoc is not a good way of doing things. So look at your calendar for the rest of the year, through the last 6 months of the year or thereabouts, and look about how can you maximize the last 6 months and do a consistent events and marketing plan so you can get results. Because as Graham said before, you got to think about it. Is it to bring new members in, or is it retention based? And you should be doing both. All right, gang. Well, it's been another great podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure to share some of the things that we know and have tried and tested. And all that's left is for you to get out there and doing it. We always say that information is free. Implementation generally costs you, but at the end of the day, if you're not implementing, if you're not taking action, you will never get the results you want. So we'll see you on the flip side, guys. That's Phil Britton signing out.
And Graham McDonald.
Take care, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.